I'm Miss Clark. I'm just going to tell you the things that I would normally tell you at parent night, and then next week, I believe next Tuesday, you'll have the opportunity to do a Google Meets and ask any questions that you may have to follow up on our slideshow today. So a little bit about me. I went to Magdalen and Capon years ago. This is my 13th year at Magdalen. I'm a K-State graduate and I'm a really big sports fan. So for religion this year, it's a big year, as you know. We will be doing First Confession and First Communion, so more information to come for those later on in the year. They will have an end of the year test, and there'll be questions that I send home the first week of school, and we'll study them all year in the classroom, but then at the end of the year, they'll be tested on those, and if you lose your copy, there is a copy of them on my website, so feel free to print them off anytime throughout the year. They will need 2 hours of stewardship, signed by a parent in their agenda, counted as part of their grade by the end of the year. So I won't track that each quarter, so you'll only notice a grade on their report card at the end of the year. They will need to memorize the act of contrition and the morning offering. We ask that the act of contrition be memorized obviously before First Confession, which is in January, and then they'll have till the end of the year to memorize the morning offering. Both of those prayers will be sent home the first week of school in your parent packet. For spelling this year, it's a little different than first grade. They will have a pre-test on Wednesday every week. Now, if we have a 4-day week, I will tell you the week ahead of time when that pre-test will be. It might change if we have off on a Monday or a Friday. So the pre-test is the same list of 20 words that go home on Monday. And if they pass the pre-test, meaning that they got all of their words correct, then they will not have to take the test on Friday. So the final test is on Friday, and if they passed it on Wednesday, then that gives them some free time on Friday. So it could be free drawing or free painting or just taking AR tests or reading if they want to silently in the class while I give the spelling test. So something for them to work towards is usually they get excited about passing that test on Wednesday. So we'll practice the words throughout the week. Again, if they all will take the test on Wednesday, and if they haven't studied for it and they don't do well, it doesn't affect their grade at all. It's just a practice test. So those lists will be sent home every Monday in their binder. At the beginning of the year, we have 20 words, and then around list 8, so about 8-9 weeks in, you'll start to see 2 sentences added to the bottom of their spelling list as well. For math, I ask that you cover their math workbook. I think that's similar to what the first grade teachers did last year. The workbook will stay in their backpack all year, and so that duct tape cover or some type of a durable tape helps to keep the workbook in better condition in their backpack. They will tear out their homework every night and hand it in. I believe in first grade they left it in their workbook at all times, so they will need help from a parent to tear those pages out. Eventually they'll be able to do it on their own, but usually if they start attempting it early on, they rip about halfway through. So help them tear that out so they can hand it back in, put their name at the top. Along with that, we ask that just throughout the year, you practice their addition and subtraction facts to help keep up what they learned as their math racers in first grade. And so there's apps, there's websites, abcyaw.com is one that we use a lot at school that has all types of games to help them with just quick recall of addition and subtraction facts. For homework, they will typically have homework Monday through Thursday. They'll never have homework on Friday. So you'll have a homework-free weekend for second grade. Some nights they'll have math and phonics, some nights it'll just be one. If they have a math test the next day, there'll be no homework. So look for that. It should take them no more than 20 to 30 minutes to do their homework in second grade. If that's becoming, if it is taking them longer, then that would be something that I'd want you to contact me about so we can look at making some changes for your child. So please check their work each night. At this age, we ask that their homework come back corrected. So they should be doing it with a parent and having a parent look over it before bringing it back to school. So their homework doesn't count necessarily as a grade, but they get participation for doing it, and it is good practice for the things that we've done in class the day before, the day of, and so it should be looked over by a parent and come back correct. So please do that nightly. Sign their agenda after completing their homework as a signal to the teacher that, you know, we did both of these things in there. I've read everything in their agenda. I also might write a note to you in their agenda, and so that would show me that you read my note as well. AR test. So this year, students will need 5 points for AR, which is the same that they needed for first grade each quarter. So 20 points for the whole year. They will have time in class to read books daily and to take their test. Now, one thing that has changed this year is they will be able to take tests from home. Given that we may not know the situation all year of what, you know, school looks like. So they will have the opportunity to take tests at home. So if they come home from school and they say, you know, they didn't have time, the laptops were all full, then they can take those tests at home. You can also access their points by logging in and seeing what tests they took that day and how they did. So they will be able to bring home AR books from the classroom this year. We're gonna ask that they sanitize their hands or wash their hands before flipping through books, and then at the end of the AR time, if they put books back, then all the kids will sanitize or wash afterwards. So they will still be able to bring books home from my class, library to home and back. So that's one good thing. This year, they will continue with reminders like they did in first grade. It's called Meeting the Goal. So a child can receive, we don't want them to receive any reminders, but it's pretty normal for a kid to receive reminders for being off task or certain behaviors. So if a kid gets 2 reminders in the morning, they will still meet their goal. When they reach the 3rd reminder in the morning or the 3rd in an afternoon, then that results in loss of goal, which would require some type of a consequence, whether it's walking a few laps at recess, having a conversation with the teacher, and possibly deciding if they need to make an apology to someone, writing a little note to a teacher or a student if that was part of their reason for getting the reminders. So this will be communicated in the agenda if they've lost their goal, or through an email, depending on what kind of things I need to communicate to the parents. So if there's nothing written in the agenda, then you can assume your child had a good day and met their goal. And I won't write in their agenda if they just get 1 reminder for talking in the hallway or 2 reminders in the day. It will only be if they lost their goal. This year, unfortunately, we're only able to go to Mass once a week as opposed to the 4 days that we used to do, just because of the social distancing that's required in church. So 1st and 2nd grades Mass day is Tuesday this year. At 8 o'clock. So just keep that in mind for scheduling purposes and whatnot. PE is on Monday and Wednesday for 2A. So I ask that you send them in their tennis shoes. A lot of their PE is going to be outside this year as much as possible. So just important that they have their tennis shoes, especially if they're trudging through any wet areas in the morning. You just want to make sure that they're not ruining any good Sperry's or leather shoes, and it's easier for them to do their activity. So I'll send home a more detailed schedule in your back to school packet the first week of school that tells you when we do our other things throughout the day. This year, if we have to make a move to scenario C, which would be our at-home learning, preschool through 2nd grade will be using the Seesaw app. So that will be what you use to take pictures and send pictures of their homework back to me. It's a really nice, smooth, easy app. We had really good success with it last year during that remote learning time. So we'll be using that again. And if that scenario arises, then I will give more information on it. But the first week of school, you're gonna get a packet or a piece of paper in your packet that says your child's name at the top, and you'll download the Seesaw Class app, and you will use the scanner inside of that app to scan a code into it, and then you will be a part of Miss Clark's class, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully it isn't something we have to use this year, but we're going to be prepared if we have to. We'll also be switching from Zoom to Google Meets as a school this year, so that will be something that your children will get familiar with before any of this would have to take place. I also use the Remind app every year, and this app helps me to send out text alerts to parents. I know some of you use similar apps with some of the sporting events and things that your kids are in. So it's helps me to send texts out at night if I can't email everybody. I only use it once or twice a month, but you'll pull up your phone when you get this piece of paper at home and pretend you're texting somebody, but the number will be this number, 81010, and then it will ask you to enter this message in, and then you'll automatically be joined to Miss Clark's 2021 class. So this piece of paper will come home, look for it in your packet. As always, I'll put stuff on my website throughout the year. So check that, it's on the Magdalene webpage. And then on my website under documents, you can also find the spelling list for the whole year. So it has all 27, I believe, spelling lists if you want to print them out for the whole year and have them at home if you like to study ahead of time or have that list on the weekend beforehand. That's available for you under documents, and you'll also find the religion study questions and the prayers on there if you need extra copies of that. Just a few things that I know a lot of this has already gone home through emails from administration, but we are taking extra precautions in the classroom this year. Our desks are spaced out much differently than usual, and there's plenty of spacing. The kids will be washing their hands once an hour, and then all supplies and manipulatives have been bagged up and are put in the child's cubbies, and so there won't be any sharing of glue sticks and pencils and any of that. So everything is in the child's cubby for the year that they will need. So most years on my back to school night, I always have wish list cards that parents like to grab for things that we need in the classroom, like treasure chests and stickers. So since you're not here in person this year, I thought I would send it out through an email. I thought about maybe doing an Amazon wish list like some of the teachers are doing, and I know a lot of the things that kids like to go pick out for their treasure chests or stickers, so there'll still be things that you could just go buy at Target. So I'll send that list out the first week of school if you're interested in donating anything to the classroom. And then I just put my personal information on here. If you, as always, feel free to email me with questions. My phone number is 253-3288 if you need to text me anytime throughout the day or at night. I may not respond to emails at night, but I will get back to it in the morning. And so texting is a quick way to get a hold of me, and I'll for sure get back to you. So I look forward to a great year with your kids, and I'm hoping that it will be as normal as possible. Besides the masks and the social distancing, it should be a fun year, and I can't wait to meet your kids. Thank you.